Hello again. She's sick of me yet? Uh, I, when I first moved to this area, one of the things that I had never seen in my life, at least not that I remember, never seen in my life, especially around the lakeshore, like Lakeshore Boulevard in Marquette, I'd be either walking or driving or taking I used to pull my kids around in a wagon, and I would see little piles of rocks all stacked up. And I had never seen that before in my life. And I thought, wow, that is so weird. And to be honest, at first I wondered if that just happened naturally. Like, that's amazing. This pile of rocks just shows up out of nowhere. But it just made me wonder. I was like, how did that get there? Who's taking the time to stack up rocks? And a bigger question, why? Like, if somebody is sitting down and stacking up rocks, stones, why are they doing that? It's awesome, but why? I was thinking about that this morning because I was reading in my devotions I'm in the early chapters of Joshua right now for part of my devotions. And there's a story in that part because Moses had passed away and Joshua was now the leader of the Israelites. And Moses had done some pretty amazing things with the Israelites. And, he had led them out of Egypt, and he was their leader when God had parted the Red Sea, and, so many amazing things had happened. And God now wanted to establish Joshua as the leader, and he wanted the people to respect Joshua the way that they did Moses. And he wanted to do something so that they would see that he was their leader. And so as they got to the Jordan River, God told Joshua to have the Levites who were carrying the Ark of the Covenant to take a few steps into the Jordan River and then stop, and he was going to part the Jordan River, which he did. Awesome. So he parts the Jordan River and everybody walks across on dry land. And then he told, Joshua did something really interesting in this story. He tells the leaders of the 12 tribes to each come back into the dry ground in the Jordan River and to take out one stone each and take it out and put it on the shore. And they were going to build a monument, a pile of stones. And he said, we're going to do that so that in the future, when your children ask, why is that pile of stones there? You can tell them about what God did here today in front of your eyes, something you saw. You're going to be able to share that with your kids because of this pile of rocks that will be a conversation starter. The piles of rocks down on the lakeshore, those started a lot of conversations for me. I still don't know why people do that. But maybe one of you could help me with that. But I was thinking about Joshua's thought process there, and I want this visual reminder of what God has done here today, so that after it's done and it's faded into the background and into history, somebody will still see that pile of rocks and ask about it, and we're going to have this opportunity to have conversation. And I thought about how I have had all these experiences with God, and a lot of us who have been following God for a long time have had this experience of seeing God's faithfulness and seeing the way that he takes care of us and how he answers prayer. And yet we're in this amazing, turbulent, weird time, and there's a lot of people around us who either don't know God or don't have that kind of experience, that length of experience with God and seeing his faithfulness. And I think right now might be our pile of rocks. Like this pandemic, as terrible as it is, might be our pile of stones, the conversation starter that allows us to start to recount for all these people who don't know him the stories of how he's taken care of us in the past, personal stories, how he's influenced our lives, what he's done for us that helps us to trust him now and into the future. I just encourage you today, like as you think, I know I mentioned this the other day in a different video, but as you think back about all that God's done for us, let this moment be that pile of rocks that helps us to start sharing all of those experiences with our kids and with our friends and our neighbors, so that they have reason to hope as well. Have an awesome day.